Good afternoon and welcome to Something More to Talk About. Today my guest is Nancy Stafford. Nancy, it is absolutely a privilege to finally meet you.
Thank you, Nancy. You too.
The first phone call that we had, I felt a connection because you were raised Southern Baptist.
Yep.
I was raised Southern Baptist. And there's something about that, don't you think?
Yes.
There's an automatic connection. And my question to you today is, when did you determine that you were off base in your life? When did you determine that you needed to come back to the Lord, being in the entertainment business?
Well, after I went off to college, I never set foot inside another church door for 15 years. And I wasn't walking away from God, I didn't think, but I just didn't think I needed church. And so I just thought I could continue living as a Christian girl, everything would be fine. But you know what happens, little by little, you just move further and further away. So I started in the industry, not walking with the Lord, and I had actually a crisis of faith that hurled me back into a search for God. But I had actually a cancer, a severe skin cancer on my face that threatened to disfigure me. And I was 24 years old, and I was told by a surgeon in Los Angeles, he reached across the table and he said, okay, you got to hear me. I can't promise what you're going to look like when the surgery's over, so if I were you, I'd have another career. Fortunately, the cancer was fine, he got it all out, and I'm not disfigured today, but it rocked my world and I realized that I needed God. But I still didn't come full back into faith in Christ. I thought, you know, there's got to be more. Maybe there's more than Jesus. So
There's always something more.
Always something more.
Well,
but I stumbled through the New Age movement for 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And then I had another pretty radical encounter with Christ on the beach in Hawaii shooting an episode of Magnum P.I. That's another story for another day. But it was a radical encounter where I was absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt. I knew that Jesus really was the way, the truth, and the life. So I came full bore. But it was 15 years of desert time.
Well, now I read in your book, I have not read the entire book, but I did peruse through it and I am going to complete it.
Good. I hope you enjoy
after
it.
the talk today. But I recalled as a little girl that you had a scenario that happened and you didn't feel very good about yourself. And as you grew up as a young woman and then as an adult, you became obviously very beautiful. And I'm wondering, how did that beauty affect the industry coming from the background that you came from? Did you feel unworthy? Do you think that you're beautiful?
I think that, yes, I think I've had enough affirmation now, not only from the industry saying yes, and I've modeled in New York, so there was enough worldly affirmation of that, that I believe it, but the real truth that I feel beautiful has only come from God's voice. Because I'm in an industry, as you know, that you're never enough. And I'm a woman in my 60s, and it's, you know, I have not chosen to do plastic surgery. I don't want to. And it's very hard to compete when everybody in the whole industry is so obsessed about the size of your waist and your, I mean, yes, it's an obsessive industry.
Yes, it is. And I would think that all the attention that you started getting as an adolescent from the pictures with the glasses, which I thought it was adorable.
It's all self-perception, you know.
Yeah, well, I thought, but then as you progress as a young woman, then you were the beauty queen and you were this and that. I guess what I'm saying is, it seems like it would be a struggle as a Christian to suddenly gain all this attention and this worldliness that's coming through and moving to New York and doing all those things in order to be successful as an entertainer. That's what got you off track.
It did.
Because you were not in a circle of faith-based.
No, I wasn't. And I didn't even believe it initially because, you know, I had not grown up with any sense that I was anything special. And so to suddenly be hurled into, and God really had to open the door and kick me through. It was certainly never anything I would have pursued. I was going to be a business person, and he had a different plan.
Well, you are certainly exemplary of beauty from the inside out, and we thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank
being
you,
here
Nancy.
today. And remember, there's always something more to talk about.